Hello artists, I hope you enjoyed looking at Dale Chihuly's artwork and learning a little bit about what he does with glass. Our version of this, obviously we're not going to be glass blowing. If you have model magic at home, if you have Play-Doh, any other kind of modeling stuff, I sent out a recipe for salt dough if you're able to make it. That would work for this. I have a piece of cardboard that's my base, and this is the back side with the writing on it. I used marker and crayon to color the top to make the base look a little bit fancier. So today what we're going to be talking about is form. And you probably remember from the past that form is 3D or three-dimensional. It goes up and down, side to side, but it also goes back and forth in space. A good way to remember this is shape is flat, form is fat. And if you need to see an actual example of this, this is a shape, flat circle, and this is a form, and it's one of my daughter's bouncy balls. It's a sphere. So shape is flat, two-dimensional, form is fat, three-dimensional. Now Dale Chihuly, when he works, because of the way glass blowing works, he tends to use two forms a lot. He uses sphere shapes, and he uses cones that have kind of been stretched out and made to be wavy. So I'm going to take my modeling material, and it will depend what you have and what colors you have, or if you're going to be painting later. I want to make kind of a swirly effect here, like I saw in Dale Chihuly's work. So I'm going to take a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow. Of course, if I mix this enough, I'm going to end up with orange, but I want it to look more swirled, marbled effect. So I think I have it how I want it, and I'm going to go ahead and roll to make a sphere. Now what Dale Chihuly does when he's working in his studio with his assistants is they make a lot of pieces and then they put them together, thinking about what that's going to look like. So here I am, I'm making one of my cones. You can see I'm pinching with this end skinnier. I'm leaving the base flatter. Once I have it the way I want it, then I can start twisting and pinching to shape this. I think that one's going to be right here. I need to make, my guess is, at least 6 to 7 pieces before I can start to put this sculpture together. So I'm going to go into time lapse because it's going to take me a little while to make those pieces with different colors, different mixes, and different forms. Students, I have my pieces made, and then while I was working in them I had this idea of kind of fire versus ice. I took a toilet paper or paper towel tube, I cut it in half, and I colored that with warm colors and bent it over. I'm going to glue it onto my base here so that I have kind of an elevated piece. So dot dot not a lot with some glue. I'm putting that on there. Alright, I'm back and my base is glued. You can see I have some wet glue and some pieces glued there. I found out that in my last attempt at this, I ended up leaning right in front of the camera and you could only see my shoulder. So we're on round 2 here, and that's the reality of trying out this new stuff. So I have my pieces here, I have my base. I want to remember that a sculpture you're going to see from all around. So I want to make sure not just this view is interesting, but when I turn it, this view is interesting, this view is interesting. So I'm going to take some of my pieces here, and obviously if you use salt dough, you might be working with already dried or baked pieces, and then you'll be painting them later. If you're working with Play-Doh, you may make this and then take it apart and put it back in the cans, but I'm working with Model Magic that's still squishy, and then I will be able to glue it with Elmer's glue here. Now I'm going to take a peek at the other side, make sure that all of this is interesting. I can see my glue spot over here for where I had that before. I still have fire versus ice, and I wanted the ice to kind of be coming up from one side. So I'm taking some of my smaller pieces here. And this is where, if this is still flexible, I can kind of change this as the way this is twisting. So they look like they're kind of faced towards each other. The fire is fighting off the ice there. I have a piece right here. So now I can turn this from all different views. I could also take cut paper strips, spirals, and add to this if I don't have a lot of modeling material. But you can see when I turn it around, a sculpture, interesting from all different views. It has form, it's three-dimensional, it is not flat, it's fat. I would love to see some of your creations on Seesaw.